So, back to this. Carrying on with the game, had sort of a half part for the previous one, right? Essentially spent the entire part leveling up, which, as I was informed, and as I should have thought, right, I could have just spammed the EXPs from the, what would you call it? The, freebie trainers, right? I could have spammed the EXP candies from the freebie trainers, but I didn't think about that at the time, which is why I did it as a half part, right? Because it's like essentially a part where I waste time. So this is the next full part, right? Part 10, so. There we go. And I think I can beat this fight. I might not be able to, even with my current team. I'm trying to think. Because here's part of the issue. It's going to one-shot Pumpkaboo. But I think what I can do is if I bulldoze, right, because it doesn't carry levitate, slow down its speed. Because I think what's critical is getting that leech seed off. Bulldoze, slow it down, and to gain the leech seed off. And essentially, the rest of my team is dedicated to just taking it down. And I have revives and super potions and shit I can use. I think part of the issue is, like, I just have a team that's not great against the ghost type. Like, dark type, it's better. Because Mr. Mime is part fairy, right? So let's see what we can do here, right? You know, honestly, why did I think it didn't have levitate? Oh, wait, hold on. Wheezing has the ability to negate, but does that negate off the... honestly, I look like such a fucking idiot. I don't know why I thought it didn't have levitate. Because I thought it had pressure, but I think that's generic. So, Wheezing's ability, right? But the question is this only active while it's in? Because that's an important part of it. Is that only active while it's in? Or is it active? I'm actually genuinely curious. Here's the thing. I might genuinely just not have a way to beat this Giratina. Which sucks. But it's just an extremely good counter for my team, if I'm being real. So we negate the ability, right? So now what I can do, right, is okay, so it is only while it's in. So that's actual troll. Alright, let's rethink this. I just want to confirm that real quick before I do anything else. But yeah, the fact that, like, you know. So do we have a way to beat this thing? That's my question. I don't know if we can genuinely beat this thing. What I might need to do is use Mr. Mime to try to get either a reflect or light screen off. I think reflect, but that's assuming we can even outspeed it. I'm trying to find a way, because I think if we can get the leech seed off, I think that puts us in a pretty solid position. That was, again, obviously when we fought Rift Pokemon, the Paragon playthrough, because our Venusaur had the leech seed, right? And then we had some other stats moves, but that was like a good way to sort of take down these. I thought Gira was on the left side of the Giratina. So reflect. Maybe I should do, well, it wouldn't have survived, which is the problem. Let's do reflect light screen. And then with both of those up, we switch in here, get the leech seed off. You're fucking kidding me. Okay, here we go. Reflect faded. We get the Shout Sneak off. Alright, but we're in a lot better of a position because with the leech seed being up. Now I think, because I think Altaria just gets killed by a dragon move. I wish we could. It's so, like, it has to have Levitate. That's such a troll ability for it to have. Because otherwise we could do something regarding trying to... I think Wheezing is the best bet here. Stat drops, so it lowered our freaking attack, but... Will we survive another one? But I guess regardless, let me just use Burn a Heal. Is Wheezing gonna be like the ultimate, like, Wheezing actually just completely fucks up Giratina? Oh my god. Damn, the paralysis. I'm gonna use a freaking Paralyze Heal, because that's just such a troll fucking... Of course I don't have anything. I'm not burning a Forest Ore. Do I have a berry? God damn it. Actual troll. I guess I overcomplicated the fuck out of this. Yeah, Wheezing absolutely fucking obliterates Giratina. Kind of crazy. So yeah, it turns out I just overcomplicated the fuck out of it. If this lands, I was gonna say, there we go. I guess turns out I overcomplicated the fuck. Yeah, freaking, but, so, what turns out is, again, this, so what's funny is I've been seeing, like, the theories are, like, it's unknown, I guess, if this is actually, Giratina, like, actually Giratina, right? Or if it's, like, some sort of, like, imitation, like, it's, like, an artificial, or at least from what I've gathered, right? Again, like, granted, this is probably people who have experienced every single corner of the game, right? And I'm just starting the Renegade route. But, I guess the theory is that this isn't actually, like, fully which is why, like, you know, it's kind of able to get put. Granted, Gear spams the fuck out of that. And he does use it against us, right? But, like, damn, what the fuck? Has to shoot at Ren, you know. Damn, he even knows, Giratina is a female, you know. I was gonna say, friggin' female empowerment, right? Damn, and Narsa has to pull some bullshit power out of her ass to beat, you know. To beat, Gira, you know. Damn, actually solos Giratina. Damn, Gira's like, man, fight back! Fight back! Oh, shit. Yeah, and again, Ren is just... Ren, this single moment dealt so much trauma to Ren that he went and joined Team Zen. Like, I still... Alright, I'm gonna be honest. I still just genuinely don't understand Ren's character. Like, his is one character they don't understand more than, like, anyone else. Like, you know, but hey, I guess teach their own, right? Damn it, now we're gonna fight. Hey! Imagine Gyro just mops the floor with us right now and we have to redo the entire fight. That'd be crazy. And chicken for dinner. Winner, chicken dinner. Hey, my goat. Hey, listen. I still think the team up is on the table. I feel like Gira in Renegade MC, I do feel like would probably like. I think it like, you know, it's funny because when I play, and it's ironic I named myself Lynn for this playthrough. When I played through Reborn, right, and this is part of why I hate the post game so much of Reborn. When I was playing through the main game, before all of the nonsense of the post game, I talked about how much Lynn is like the antithesis of the player, right, and the protagonist. They're like the antagonistic equivalent of us, where they just show up out of nowhere, upend everything, and then, you know, take the lead for the antagonist, right? That is like essentially what Lynn does in the main game. You know, usurp Solaris, right? Like that's like the antagonistic equivalent for, you know, what would just be the protagonist, right? But I feel like Renegade MC and Gira, like I feel like would get along extremely well. You know, so I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to get my goat on board, right? I want an ending where we team up, right? We see even in the end of the Paragon route that Gira can't find an excuse to hate us. You know, after being put back together, literally, from being shattered into 1,000 pieces. You know. Yeah, Matt. All right. I still gotta defend Matalis. I'll absolutely clown Matalis like later on in the game. I will absolutely clown Matalis later on in the game. But she was actually extremely competent in that first interaction we had. Like she got unlucky, like, by Crescent, which, to be fair, Crescent bodied the GOAT as well, right? If we're being real, you know. Hey. Dude, I love this guy's... I gotta keep blazing him. I love this guy's fucking battle pick, where it's like, you know, I don't know who came up with the idea to have this just, like, ghostly, like, figure behind him. Like, and, you know, I think... maybe there's maybe this is a bit of an over-analysis, right? But maybe it's like the spirit of Vitus. Maybe it's a figure akin to, you know, a figure akin to that, right? Now that we know it's his adopted father, right? I fucking hate these double battles so much. I love this dude's team, though. Like, I genuinely love this dude's team. Dark Fairy. Oh my god. Yeah, Haunt, that's super effective. See, was it Dark? So honestly, just use freaking. Maybe we get a freeze or something somehow. That would be kind of insane if we got freeze off that. Dark. Do we have we don't have a bug type in this playthrough, unfortunately. Yeah, Dark. Well, Dark Fairy. Poison is still. Or is it Dark Psychic? Dark Fairy. Damn. This dude brought... Alright. I still don't think this is as bad as Neved. Where Neved 1v3'd us and then, like, was surprised he lost. That was, like... I still think Neved's ore loss, like, throughout the game needs to be studied. Like, that man had so much aura early on that he just, like, lost immediately after Black Steeple. Like, never recovered. It was so bad, he just fucked off for, like, the second half of the game. Like, I will always clown on Neved, by the way. That's one person I will never not clown on. Damn, he's like, give me that shit back. Damn, what the fuck? You know, Mosley's like, freaking, we got, Mosley's just freaking hungry as shit right now. You know. Yeah, Gear's like, alright, everyone can clown me. Ren, shut the fuck up. You know. Damn, and then he gets sent to the Nether Realm. Yeah, you know, not you. Why wouldn't Narsa have access to a Dusknoir at this point? You know. Yeah, like, you know, well, and I lied. I said this was the first time we experienced Legendary. That's false. Madalis had the Shadow Mewtwo, which is why it's like, again, you know. Well, what's funny is we know he ends up coming back, right? You know. Because what's funny, you know, is that they probably thought they ended up just killing him, and then, of course, Gira comes back. Comes back twice, you know. Mayman, you know. And of course, this was before he even knew who Mayman was. And then he leaves. Yeah, Mayman. And that's interesting that, what's it called? That I guess Narsa knows Mayman. Seemingly, at least. Imagine we fuck up the play. We're on the Renegade route, so... Man, someone better heal my goddamn team. Oh my god. I was gonna say, man, quit messing around. Heal my goddamn team. Oh, that meant I need to go downstairs. Have we been... Alright, well, it's locked anyway, so it's not like I can do... There we go. Alright, thank god. Oh yeah, where are we supposed to go? The gym? Mr. Lux is still here, of course. I was gonna say, who's... Oh, it's Ren. Why'd they give a... like, we... I guess he's gonna... And again, it's funny that we have to essentially fight him. Damn, what the fuck? Oh my god, good thing I'm at this point at least very familiar with this this puzzle. So it shouldn't be in, what's funny is we're all maxed out on our levels anyway. I guess who would be good to have lead off? The ghost type, because it's a ghost type, so I can just spam. Hello? Man, you know what they say about the drift loon. fuck out of here with that weak ass shit. Come on, man. And again, the incident 10 years ago. You know what's crazy to think about? Because I do think, obviously, the burning of Wispy Tower, because this is something you don't really think about during your first playthrough. But, like, with what we know now, the burning of Wispy Tower, again, it was 100% in connection to what was going, but it's like, we don't actually know what, like, was behind that and what caused the tower to burn, right? Like, that's why I'm like, low-key, this game has a lot of loose ends that it needs to tie up in these final versions. And I don't want to say I don't think they'll be able to, right? But, you know, they're very, very optimistic about it because of how much I enjoyed playing this game. But, like, there's a lot of loose ends to tie up, and this is one of them, you know, regarding, I mean, do we ever get a closure on Wispy Tower, right? Who the hell is this? Is this, like, supposed to be Crescent? Like, that's, like... So, do we actually know... Yeah, I was gonna say, because, like, you know, it's a question of who that person represents, or who it could be, you know. I was gonna say, Rip, that's gonna absolutely obliterate us. I guess, honestly, since we're not, like, I might as well just use Wheezing to obliterate everyone. So, yeah, let's move, because, like, I mean, I'm not gaining any XP from this, from these fights, so... What, 10 years ago? And of course it's us, right? Yeah, it is funny, because this is where we fight Ren, right? This is, like, the fated moment where, you know, we fight him, and then, he ends up, defecting to Team Zen, immediately following, right? I will say, like, his character is one that I don't understand. And he had a reason to join Team Zen. And it was kind of like he was like a double agent. And obviously his, if we're being real, his sort of character, the purpose of him being in Team Zen is to develop, you know, Narcissa and Neved, given their sort of, I'd say paternal and maternal, you know, sort of, like, he's kind of the fill-in for that, right? Given their sort of own backstories, right? If we are being entirely real there. But it was still kind of like, I don't know if it's a legit buff. I mean, whatever. But unfortunate. Damn, I was gonna say, Ren actually, like, grows a spine in this route? Oh, shit. Damn, he might beat us, low-key. 5. Doesn't even matter who we switch in. Because we don't even have a fairy type, like, move. Like... Frogadier. Does it gain its dark typing? Nope. Damn, I was gonna say low-key we're obliterating his whole team with Sludge Bomb. So I guess in this route he does actually have more of a reason to, funny enough, he does have more of a reason to oppose us based on how we, you know, treated him, right? Or how we're acting, you know, towards him, being that we're on the Renegade route, right? Thanks, Pumpkaboo, you know. Hey, at least he healed our team. Hey, at least he healed our team. Damn, that's tough. Oh, I was gonna say, like, so that's why, like, I think some of the stuff that happens and or takes place, because obviously, and again, this is, like, the game can't be so vastly different, like, where it's essentially 2 separate games in one. So realistically, you know, there is gonna be some stuff that makes more sense on other routes. So, like, I think Ren joining Team Zen, you know, makes more sense. Hey, she got a new outfit. Makes infinitely more sense on the Renegade route, right? Damn, how did we just get teleported here? Hey, there's Narsa Queen. Alright, now let's, unfortunately, we gotta obliterate them. Oh my god, don't do this. Dusclops. I was gonna say, do everyone want to stay in when I'm confused? Because I feel like that was pissed me off. Oh my god. So, Mimikyu is Mono Ghost, right? Well, actually, we can kind of game the system with Rock Blast. Well, you know, if it would hit more than twice. Damn, easy. I was gonna say, Shadow Ball, we can actually teach that to Pumpkaboo, you know. Damn, what the fuck? Yeah, he's like, see, Narsa's like, wait a second, you were the one who let them in here. Damn, it's like, gotta get out of here. Who the fuck is sitting on the left all alone? Like, is that like an actual character here? Damn, of course, and funny enough, I just realized my mouse was on the screen this entire goddamn time. Renegade MC is like not the best example, you know, not the best example for the people of Golden Leaf, right? Oh, and there's... Dude, absolutely love seeing the scenes. And it's unfortunate we're on the Renegade route, but I do love seeing it. And that's why it's like, I will say, you know, I mean, because obviously our mom, like, it's revealed that, oh yeah, she's not actually our mother, and that she still exists within the Zeit, right? But I do think here's what I will say. I do think part of me wishes the game stayed more grounded in, like, reality, and it was kind of, like, more reborn in the sense where, at least the main game, where it's pretty, I don't want to say grounded in reality, but in, like, normal world, like, rules, where it's, like, it's not like, oh, yeah, the world is actually, like, on its X iteration, and we have cross-communication with, we send things to our other iteration selves, and the world resets, and Arceus is the core that communicates through, like, not all of this random extra shit, right? Part of me does wish the game, but I will say that because the game pretty early, again, my main issue with Reborn is that the game was grounded throughout the entirety of the main game, and then post-game, it's like, oh yeah, all of a sudden, you know, all of this bullshit is... And then it's like, all right, dude, like, what are we doing? But this game does, like, very early on establish, like, magic and, like, all this other shit that happens. So, like, but part of me does wish it had stayed more grounded, especially because the story is extremely hard to follow. Like, I'm not saying that because, like, you know, like, I'm saying that because, like, if we're being real, from me just playing through the game, like, I feel like if I don't have the people in the comments guiding me, then I just have no idea what the fuck is going on. But again, you know, to each their own, right? It's like one way or the other, right? Like, but because then honestly, our mother's death would have a lot more meaning in our character. It'd have a lot more impact on our character because essentially we're trying to live up to their name and be the child that they could never see grow old, right? But I mean, you know, if we're right, but that was the direction they took. Damn, Gira's like, he's like, goddamn, I got sent to this bullshit. And of course he runs across Zeta, Jenner, and then a Nim, right? So yeah, he just keeps walking down that path. Bruh, this Gira, alright, come on, man. I was gonna say Gira has, like, terrible vision. If only now he just saw Zeta and then Jenner. Yeah, man, Zed's like, man, shut the fuck up. How do you think they ended up in this ether dimension as well? They got sent there. Gira literally knew Zeta got obliterated by Crescent. So, like, yeah, Zed's like, wait, what the fuck? How'd you get here? You know? Damn, you know, freaking, that is rough that he is seemingly at this point under the impression that Malia is legit just dead. Like, yeah, hey, damn, kind of gotta, unfortunate that they gotta flame the goat like that, but, you know, to be fair, credit where credit's due, right? And then Nim just spawns in out of nowhere, and obviously Nim is the key to them escaping. We never actually get, like, you know, this place fleshed out. Like, this is literally just seemingly an alternate dimension that exists. Like, that we have, you know, for this plot point of them getting sent there to get taken back out. Yeah, and someone else gets sent here. Damn, holy fat ass. And I was gonna say, like, I don't even think at this point these people know who Nim is. Like, because we, as the main character, just had our one encounter with them, but Lord knows what the others, and again, the Calamity, interesting, you know, that even, I mean, I want to say, because obviously the present day is still very impacted by that Calamity, but even just the geography is still, And I was going to say, you know, because I do think this is, because that was one of the things. I was playing through Paragon route, and I'm like, it doesn't make sense why Ren. I think in this route, it makes a lot more sense why Ren would join Team Zen. Like, you know, and it makes a lot more sense here why I'd have to go on our own, just because we are, like, you know. Damn, if I could heal my team, you know. And where are we at? Honestly, I might, because we did a lot, I might end this part here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end this part here, and in the next part we'll start making our way through the path, I should say. And I imagine we can get up to level 40 at this point. Regardless, we're gonna continue in the next one. And yeah, we're finally making progress again, right? Yeah, and then it is gonna be funny because you're gonna go up, get kidnapped, brought to Black Steeple, the whole Black Steeple arc, and then get dropped off at Terrajuma. That is also funny to think about, because if we had chosen either the Paragon or if you skip to Terrajuma, do you technically does the game auto input you as having beaten Madam X? Because we know that is something that is like in Reborn, like beating Solaris has very much like story impacts, but in here it's kind of questionable, right? But I do want to beat Madam X. I think I have a couple means of making something happen, but realistically, we'll see. We'll see about it. With that, don't really have anything else to say. So, yep. So for this one, see you in the next one.